Okay. And we are moving to strategy number 5, which is automation bidding. And again, I know I want to share these cool stats. It's just also fresh one from the latest analytics by GigRadar. That's my personal case, but I thought that I'm a star, like I Upwork queen, and I know everything, and I can apply for any job. So after so many years, when I stopped my Upwork engagement, so I thought, okay, like I can easily do it, like get in the job. So I am expert vetted. I have such a number of earnings, so I received recommendations, or I filtered the jobs, like saved. I have a daughter who is 2.5 years old. So I thought, okay, I will reply a little bit later when she goes to sleep. At the end, I don't know how many bits did I send, guys. It was probably 100 plus, but I landed with 0. It's just not because I am a zero expert, but just because I realized that after that statistics about efficiency, that AI proposal submission by responding within 15 minutes, and human, that was Kate, 817 minutes. So when I do all my stuff and everything, of course, my conversion was close to 0, and I couldn't understand what was the case. It was just late because I was number, I don't know, especially in my marketing category, that is a huge competition. So I was asking myself how can I influence that? And I know you tested many things. So what's your vision? What's your tactics about human vs AI? And yeah, let's start from that probably.
Our vision for human versus AI.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Sounds good. So what I would like to do is I would like to share my screen and
probably show it on like in a mini workshop. So show the difference for us to understand, and for guys on the event to understand what's the difference when you, so we know how to send proposals. Tamara just showcased that, how to being a human, how it's happening with the tools like GigRadar.
Cool. Sounds great. All right. So can you guys see my screen?
I do. Yes.
Beauty. All right, sweet. Cool. So what we can see here is the dashboard of GigRadar. And yeah, you can see all the lead generation activity for the past month for this actual like active agency. Now, the biggest pain point for agencies, like what most of you are probably struggling with, is just not missing any relevant opportunities on Upwork. Right, we all know that it's a global marketplace, and proposals or jobs get posted like 24/7 in all kinds of different time zones. And most agency owners, they either have to like not sleep, right, and just continuously monitor the platform not to miss any relevant opportunities, right? Or you have to employ a team of like 4 full-time lead generators that are doing that for you and submitting proposals on your behalf. So what we saw in the previous slide was the difference in average replies received for AI versus human. And AI tends to get more replies every single week, right? That is not due to AI having a higher lead reply rate. In fact, it's usually very even. Humans and AI generate a similar amount of responses per number of submitted bids, but AI here, from the graph that you saw on the last slide, these statistics, the AI doesn't miss any relevant opportunities. So it works for you 24/7, right? And it can submit bids on your behalf, right? And then all you really have to do is take care of the inbound leads. So going back to what we see here, dashboard for EVA codes, and we see the proposal sending stats for the past 30 days in this case. Now, they do have 2 active lead generators. One AI, Eva Domo, that is not a real person. It's GigRadar's business manager that bids on behalf of any one agency member from this particular agency, right? And then there's the Abdul Samad, right? He bids manually, but his main job is really just responding to leads that Eva generates. Cool. So in the past 30 days, we see that Eva, she submitted like 434 proposals and got 34 replies, right? EVA codes, I want to mention targets jobs at least 10K, right? So their lead reply rate is about like 7 or 8%. It really fluctuates. Sometimes it's 10, 11. The past month 7.34, but getting 34 leads isn't horrible, and they're quite happy with that. So over here, right, we'll see all the submitted proposals, and then when you scroll down further, you'll be able to see like the recently submitted proposals. So it's currently like 2:20 a.m. where I'm at, so apologies, I may sound a little out of it, but we'll see the recently submitted proposals at like midnight, right? Midnight my time. And the last one that they already got a response to was sent a few hours prior, right? So we can kind of have a look at what that looks like. I'm not cherry picking, that's just the last proposals that they got a response to. And the cover letter that we see is completely AI generated. Cool. So the real game changer, as I mentioned prior, is not to miss any relevant opportunities, right? So really, you could write anything. You can write a lot of different things here that could generate a response, but what seems to make the biggest difference on Upwork is just to bid within the first hour, or ideally within 15 minutes of when the job is posted. So we can help you with that if you'd like help. The way you do it is you create some scanners that search for jobs for you 24/7, right? So that kind of takes work away from you. The scanners are similar to Upwork search criteria, but slightly more advanced. Like, for example, as you can see here, you can create a little query that lets you search many search queries simultaneously. Like, for example, all variations of the following words, right? We help you set it all up. So once you've created this kind of search criteria on Upwork once, then you turn on the auto bidder for 24/7, provided that you have created the instruction for the AI to generate those proposals for you on your behalf, right? By taking into context the freelancer profile on behalf of who you're bidding, your agency profile, your skills section, your portfolio examples, etc., right? And then according to your instructions and your prompts, these are quite basic prompts. Like Tamara, for example, has experimented with like tone of voice and grammatical errors and emotional connection prompts, and those work incredibly well. These are more basic, but they still work really well, right? Then you simply provide some answer templates to the questions. As Chaitanya mentioned, the questions are just as important as cover letters, depending on how Upwork is feeling and what Upwork chooses to prioritize. But that's it. So you create that, and then AI continuously evolves because it's trained on Upwork proposals, and it submits these bits for you, and generates more responses than humans otherwise would. So that's a mini overview. Kind of shows a little bit of the functionality of GigRadar. There's a lot more like analytics, a lot of other things that really help you in. So what I'll do now, I'll stop sharing my screen.
I have a couple of questions before we stop sharing that. So one is that if you look at the reply rate, then even for humans or AI, the reply rate seems to be pretty low, right? I mean, considering everything, the percentage isn't great. It's not like 50% or something like that. Well, so finally, you're suggesting that the thing that actually matters is the amount of bids. That's what would finally matter. Like if you're being able to post within 15 minutes, I think Tamara says within 3 minutes, like that's what you recommend, right, Tamara? Within 3 minutes of job posts. Didn't you mention that?
I said that I can create a post, like I can write a bit in 3 minutes. If I see it on a 0 second,
Okay.
I can
Right.
do right. But yeah, the pros of the AI tool that it's posting and sending when I'm sleeping. That's I mean
Right.
that, yeah, as a human, if I see that and I'm here to beat, I will do faster, but not in the night, for example.
Yeah. No, so that seems to be the biggest difference then. that you're able to post a lot more and bid a lot more with automated tools. But then a question, and we're seeing that question in chat as well, like, so what's the policy with Upwork? How would Upwork react to automation tools, automated bidding? How would that work?
Yeah, that's a great question. So spoiler alert, like Upwork does not technically encourage auto bidding, just like LinkedIn doesn't encourage automated lead generation, and a lot of other platforms don't, and we are fully aware of that. And for that reason, the way GigRadar works is you are not the one actually doing the auto bidding if you are a GigRadar member, right? So that's why we create the business manager in the first place as a layer of protection. Like BM, in the eyes of Upwork, BM is the one who's doing the auto bidding. However, we've been in business for 2 years now, and we worked with over 400 agencies. Not a single one has faced any sort of bans from Upwork or anything along those lines, because we have measures implemented so that the actual bidding activity is indistinguishable from human behavior, right? So there's like typing going on under the hood, there's like screenshots being taken, copy paste, etc. Everything that you could possibly imagine for what an actual manual lead generator would do on Upwork in order to submit the proposal. So yeah, and also I want to touch on the question, Chaitanya, that you had earlier, like what makes the biggest difference. And our experience with like over 2 million proposals submitted at this point, speed is a big factor, but it plays about maybe 20% role in how many responses you actually get. So speed is one of them. The other one is consistency, right? So simply bidding consistently and ideally 24/7 makes a huge difference. Like weekends, for example, again, based on like over 2 million proposals sent, and we see the same kind of stats every single week over week. Weekends generate 2 times the amount of responses versus weekdays, right? And I have a question for everyone here, just to think for yourself, like how many bids do you actually submit on weekends? When I talk to agency owners, most of them take the weekends off, right? So that's when agency owners kind of choose to rest, and that's when clients actually have the time to look for submitted proposals, right, and pick some interesting ones. So again, AI will do that for you, and you can kind of take care of the inbound leads, on a Monday morning or afternoon. The other thing is quality of proposals. Now, obviously, when a human puts 100% into every proposal, human can write a really, really high quality proposal and beat AI, right? AI is not yet so advanced.
If that human is Tamara, though.
If the human is Tamara, we would all love for AI to, be as good at writing proposals as Tamara is. But the reality is have limited mental capacity, right?
We'll download her brain. Like when Elon Musk builds that chip, we'll download her brain.
We're working on that behind the scenes. But the quality of proposals and answers to questions is really, really important. And the reality is, for humans, it's hard to have the mental capacity to do that 30 times a day, right? So for that reason, providing instructions to AI, like these kind of templates, and having AI answer them for you and continuously evolve and get better based on millions of Upwork proposals is a good strategy that works for a few hundred clients of ours. So yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into consideration for what works in Upwork, and simply bidding consistently not only tends to increase the amount of responses that you get, but also the amount of invites that you get, because Upwork prioritizes agencies that spend money, right, and wants those agencies to do well.
Absolutely.